Hello guys, welcome back to Euro Truck Simulator 2. Update 1.35, that is what we are going to have a look at. What is new and so on, we're gonna go over it. The basic is pretty simple, it's Euro Truck Simulator, which is a game of 2012 if I'm not mistaken. The end of 2012, the beginning of 2013. Now, that might sound old in some people's ears, but it really isn't. This game is constantly being developed and upgraded, and instead of bringing a new title, they just bring us new stuff every now and again. Usually, the yearly schedule sort of comes down that towards summertime, you usually get a free update with all kind of new features, and then towards the end of the year, we have the DLC map expansion. That is how it usually goes. The base game, if you look on the map for instance, the base game pretty much was the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, the north of France, the UK, Austria, Swiss, the north of Italy, and so on. The first new DLC update that they brought was going east, which was the east of Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakia, and also Hungary added to the map that was going east. The second one they brought was Scandinavia, which was more or less the south of Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, with all kind of ferry connections as well. And then they brought Vive la France. We had some cities in the north and on the east here, but that was it. All the rest is Vive la France DLC. And then 2 years ago it was Italy. We had these 4 cities in the north here on the original map, but the Italia DLC sort of completed it over here. And then last year we had Beyond the Baltic Sea, which gave us Kaliningrad, St. Petersburg, and then also Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, and the south of Finland. That was sort of the last one that we had. Towards the end of the year, we're going to get Romania, Bulgaria, and Istanbul, a part of Turkey. Here, this area sort of. That will be the DLC for this year, but that will be for the end of the year. Now we have 1.35, which is sort of the free update for this year. Of course, the original map, being 5-6 years old by now, they also started upgrading that map. They had a stage 1 earlier with 1.34 update, I think it was, or even 1.33, and they sort of renewed the roads and made it visually a little bit differently, some new highways here and there in the north of Germany, and that was stage number 1. And now they have completed stage 2, and that, yeah, you can immediately see more or less where it's going down, because I have been driven on most of the roads, and over here we suddenly have gray areas again. Gray area means that are roads that we haven't been on yet, so these are the new roads. So this is more or less Erfurt, Kassel, Leipzig, Nuremberg. Those are kind of the areas that they have covered this time in stage 2, and then I'm assuming in one of the next updates they will do stage 3, which will be the south of Germany. After that they're gonna renew the UK, I believe. Also Belgium and the Netherlands are on the planning. So even the old map they are renewing every time. Next to that we have some new roads in France as well. I have a few gray areas here because I was still sort of covering that. There is one. Now I'm trying to figure it out. It says A6 and the N44, so I'm assuming it is this road here, because Paris and Reims and Dijon are on the original map. And so I am assuming that this road over here is the new road, because that is like from the original map is a new road that they have added. And also for if you have the Vive la France DLC, the rest of France, they also added the A10 to A60 to the A6, I'm assuming, which I'm assuming is the rest of this, sort of the prolongation of that road that here. So this is original map, and this over here, this area is DLC. So also this piece of road is DLC. And then of course, if you have the Italia DLC, they have added the complete new island here, Sardinia. We already had Sicily, so now they have added Sardinia as well. I already did a video on that, so the beta version was available to play in public, and I sort of did a little trip here on that east road here. So that is something we will have a look on that later maybe. What else has changed for this update is in Scandinavia itself there are the road signs, and so have been improved, and they have new road signs in the whole of the Scandinavia. Of course, then you need to have Scandinavian DLC. And we also have the special transport DLC pack, which gives us some special transport, as I showed in RMD trucking number 4. I think we did like one of those really heavy containers and stuff that like you need to. I think we did like some sort of high-tech device that we transported in that episode. And they have new routes now added. I believe there are 7 of them. They have added. I think we can check it because you get a new mail from that. New special transports available from Pori in Finland. For that, you of course need the Beyond the Baltic Sea DLC. Krakow in Poland, which requires the Going East DLC. Toulouse in France, which requires the Vive la France DLC. Verona in Italy. I don't think you need the Italia DLC for that, because that is one of the 4 cities that we already had on the map. Odense in Denmark, that is also Scandinavian DLC. And the St. Petersburg in Russia, that's Beyond the Baltic Sea DLC. And Plymouth in the UK. Also that you don't need it. If you don't have any DLCs, you can do Plymouth and Verona, I think. Depends a bit where this Verona thing goes. If the Verona trip goes south into Italy, then you probably do need the Italia DLC to do the Verona one. But the Plymouth you definitely do not have to do without any DLCs. It's just fine. It will work. So those are sort of when it comes down to the map that they have changed. So some new roads in France, some new special transports, and then of course stage 2 of the Germany update, and also added Sardinia. Then we have some new containers, if I'm not mistaken. So if we go to the trailer purchase, we had the wooden floor bed, flatbed, that is the curtain sider. We had a couple of curtain siders. We had the double dry fighter and so on. We can also now buy a container carrier, and also the wooden floor logging containers are also available that you can buy now. And also for Krone we have the box liner, also for containers, which obviously is also new. The other one were available already. And also for Schwarzmüller we have containers now. We have a reefer, and we have a logging, and we have a curtain sider. So yeah, 3 new containers. Also these containers will also or these trailers will also be visible in the open world by the AI will also be driving these things. So if you have the Schwarzmüller pack, Schwarzmüller and Krone are DLC packs that you can buy separately. If you have those, then you can also buy those. For the standard trailers, it's basically container carriers and logging trailers that you can get. Then you can browse through these things also on the open world now, I believe. And you can browse through it and with accessories and all that kind of stuff. We have double trailers like these things, which were normally restricted to Scandinavia, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and also in Finland you could drive these things. You can also now drive them in the Netherlands and in Germany. So that is something that they have added. Let's have a look. You can also adjust your trailers if you're out in the world. We will have a look on that later because it also has a another feature that you can get through, because these are now the stock offers, and I can also put my fleet configurations, and it sort of saves you that it was already doing that after an update later. After when they brought these trailers, a bit later they did an update, and then you could save your trailers. So the colors and stuff that you have, or the design that you have put on your trailers, it sort of saves everything, so that you can purchase it for one of your next things. You can now also copy these things. So if you have a few double trailers all over the place, you can now just click on that and say, okay, I want this design on this and this and this and this trailer, and the same goes for the trucks. If you have a truck design, you can copy it, which I'm assuming you have to do more or less in your garage manager, and sort of figure it all out there. Truck manager. If I click on one of those, as you can see, I have a design here on this Scania, and then I can click on copy, and then it says select a truck to copy from the table below, but I don't have a table, so click on full configuration copy, and then you can either select all of them, or you can just say, okay, we have 9 Scanias in our fleet here, I want to have it on this one and on this one and on this one, and then you confirm. Of course you have to pay to copy the design, but you do no longer have to go into a repair shop and with all of these. Like, let's say I want to change number 3, 6 and 8, then I had to take out number 2, 3, 6 and 8 and go to the repair shop and copy that design. Now you can just all do it here in the menu, and the same goes for the trailers. If I go into the trailer manager, you can see all my trailers. If I click on this curtain sider here, also here you have the copy config thing that you have here. You can also configure it over here, so that's like always something that you can add some new lights, or if you want to take another color in this and so on. That is all available now as well. What else do we have? The rest is more into the game, I think. Let's just drive. I don't know where it puts us, because yeah, it has been an update, so then it's possible that it just puts you in the middle of nowhere. And apparently we have no mail. Let's have a look what that's all about. We would like to congratulate you on the progress of your company. We're impressed by the success of your business, and we would like to offer you a new way to help your company expand further. From now on, you can use our services to purchase additional properties almost instantly. For more information, please visit the garage purchase interface. This new interface just unlocked now. So if I click that, then you see all the garages that I have, which are basically every single one in the game. And they are all in green, which means that they are all upgraded as well. But now here we have the new island, for instance, and there are 3 new garages. But yeah, I am at the moment in my headquarters in Brussels, so I'm not really in Sardinia. So instead of driving there, which you normally have to do, you could, of course, fast travel to one of your other garages. I could go to Napoli or Palermo, just go to the garage there, and then take the boat to Cagliari in Sardinia. That would be an option. But now you can just say, oh no, I'm just gonna stay in Brussels. I click on Olbia here, and then I can select the 3-spot garage or the 5-spot garage, and then of course you have to pay that price. So I'm just gonna do that. Okay, I'm also gonna buy a large garage in what is it, Sassari, and then also the one in Calgary. Quickly through the menu, and my truck is still in Brussels, not a problem. I don't need to drive here, and now I have again all the garages. It's as simple as that. Also gives you a pretty good overview of all the garages available on the game. And then of course you can go to the garage manager and scroll down to the bottom to know that there are, at this moment in time, after update 1.35 with all the DLCs out there are 160 garages available. The problem with that was that more or less there were not enough drivers, because you have like 180 garages, 5 spots for drivers and for trucks. If you have trucks and you hire some drivers, you in theory could have like 799 drivers, because of course you also have to drive yourself, so there are 800 spots available. But if you went to the recruitment agency and you hired a driver, that was a bit of a problem, because there were I think about 300 were available that you could hire, but they have added now a bunch of new drivers. Also some like this one is something that I don't immediately recall, Maria over here. So not only did they add new drivers, they also add some new faces and stuff like that. And they also added a bunch of more drivers as far as I know. I don't know if they have added so much that you can actually have 800 drivers. Kind of doubt it, but they definitely added a bunch of new people. I'm assuming that most of these people here are people even known within the community, or actually people working at SCS Software or something, I don't know. But that is definitely something that was requested, because people were short on drivers to hire for their garages. Let's have a look. Now, back in here, we also have the feature of the wiper thing. I don't even know if I have mapped in this driver. By the looks of it, not. Don't think I have them mapped here, but the wiper, it had basically had an interval standing and then just going up and down. But now they have also a fast going up and down, so they added like an extra standing in the wipers, which was also requested in a way, because if it was actually raining, those wipers sometimes were just going too slow. But now you have an extra fast speed function, or whatever it is that you want to call it. Then there are also all kind of stuff in the menu, obviously. That's how it usually goes. Let's have a look. Gameplay, I'm assuming there will be some new features. So we'll have a look to see where everything is. This seems to be all pretty much as it was. Now we come to the truck settings. If I'm not mistaken, we had the trailer stability. And now instead of one slider, we have 5 sliders now. So you can change the braking intensity. You can, I think that we already had that one as well, but we have truck stability now. We have suspension stiffness. We have cabin suspension stiffness. You can all arrange that here a little bit more, so that you do not flip over or something on a roundabout, because sometimes the truck is a bit unstable, or the trailer. You can all separately change these things now, which makes it also a bit more interesting. Let's have a look here. Let's see what else we can find here. We had the localized city and country names. So if you play this game in English and you want to have everything in English, you had this thing checked. But if you uncheck that, then you will get the names on the map in the actual language of the country. If it's in the Netherlands, then it's in Dutch. If it's in Germany, it's in German. In Italy, in Italian, of course. Which occasionally, for instance, I have an American friend, and if I was talking about Firenze, she had no idea what I was on about, because in English it's called Florence. If you now so you could either put like the Italian name up, or you could put the English name up, and now you have this option here to show the secondary names in the map. And if you click on that, and then you look on the map, then you will see on most of these things, if there are two names available, like here Florence and Firenze, then it will give you both of the names. Turin and Torino, Naples, Napoli, Rome, Roma, the whole thing here, if you need it. Of course, that is mainly over here. It's a bit of a problem. St. Petersburg, if you need to read that in Cyrillic script, or Kaliningrad, yeah, not that easy to do. So then it sort of puts the names in both languages on the map. But we're not done yet. If we go into the audio options, we have voice navigation now. We have a GPS either in the truck or on the route advisor, or you have some accessories as well, like an extra GPS that you can sort of stick to your front window or stuff like that. You can now enable the voice, and then you have to select. You can select a Deutsch, a German, or English, or Spanish, or French, Italian, Polish, Turkish, Russian, and no idea, some sort of Mandarin or so. Japanese, I have no idea. What is this? From what I hear, they're also later on going to add some extra languages. So if we, for instance, take, let's take, so I'm assuming it is like a male and a female voice in all of these languages, by the looks of it. Giulia and Marco. And if you then do a preview,
È ora di andare.
okay, whatever he says. Could be interesting. If you drive in Italy, you can put the Italian voice on. You have no idea what he says, but yeah, it's a way to learn English, or whatever language that is that you need to learn. What is this here? Doc UK and USA. Okay, apparently both English versions. Let's hear it.
Caution, please mind the speed limit.
Okay, doesn't really sound English, but I'm assuming it's an American trying to speak English.
Ready to roll.
Yeah, it's the same voice. Raspy? What's that?
Keep right.
Okay. Jesus. Sky from the UK?
Keep left.
Okay.
At the roundabout, take the 6th exit. Now keep left there.
Okay, if you want old granny. Of course, also mods already jumped into this. There are in the Steam Workshop all kind of voice mods available already. This game supports mods, by the way. So I think there is like Arnold Schwarzenegger is available, and some other voice which you can sort of implement here. Speed warning. What is this here? Sound and voice. Oh yeah, you can also get some. If you're speeding, you can get some either a signal or the voice telling you that you're speeding. I think I'm gonna put that on none for now. We'll just put Sky USA, I think, because the UK language is yeah, it's Americans trying to speak English. I think that's what it comes down to. So that's for the audio settings. That is the voice navigation, which becomes available. What else do we have? In the job market, we had the quick job if you drive as a hired driver for another company. And then we have freight market and external contracts, which are the World of Truck contracts. That is if you drive just with your truck and you pick up trailers. If you drive your own trailer, then we had the cargo market, but we did not have cargo market yet, which was connected to the world of trucks, or in other words, the external cargo market, which is now also available over here. It's now grayed out because I at the moment I don't have a trailer on my truck, but if I have my own trailer on, then these two markets also become available. The online garage we already saw because I already purchased the 3 garages on the Sardinia island. And then we have a few things which I have to go into the truck again. If we press on this route advisor thing here on the right, if we press F6, you get like the route, F5 is the map, and F7 gives you like some sort of services and adjustments thing. You can see the damage, and if you then press enter, then you have this thing available. That is a way to dismiss your trailer, and it also, if you have some serious damage or you're on your site or something, it's a way to go to the repair shop. Now they have added 2 features, meaning the adjust trailer. That means that you can adjust your trailer. If you're on a parking lot somewhere, wherever on the map, you can adjust your trailer instead of a 2-axle, you make it a 3-axle or something like that. That can be done on the road now. And then also a very requested feature is the emergency refueling. Sometimes it just happens to be that you pass a gas station and you think, okay, I have enough fuel, and you pass that gas station, and then you keep driving, and it turns out that by the time you're almost running out of fuel, you don't find the gas station in time, and you actually run out of fuel. Before, when that happened, you had to tow to the service, and then some towing service truck showed up and in a way, and it fast traveled you to the nearest by repair shop. But then also meant that you were sort of miles away from where you were. That is now fixed with this emergency refueling. Now it's sort of more or less a truck coming to you with fuel, and it refills you wherever it is that you are, and then you can just move on from there. So also that is a new feature. Then there are all kind of input things. So if we go into, I'm assuming controls, where we have to go in the options menu, and if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, you will see all kind of new stuff happening here. We have color feedback. That is basically the RGB for the Razer Chrome keyboards and stuff like that, so that your colors actually work. That is supported now. We also have the eye tracking device, which you can put on your desktop or something, and then it tracks your eyes. If you look left, then the driver in the game will actually also look left, and you can configure it in such a way that you can only focus on your eyes, or on your eyes and your head movements. So that is also something which is supported now. And then experimental, there is DX11 that you can try if you want to, but that is still in the experimental phase. They're doing some tests with that, probably with the intention that later on to switch the whole game from DX9 to DX11, which also in a way upgrades the game, of course, and makes it happening that way that the game gets updated and upgraded without having to make Euro Truck Simulator 3. There is no need for that. They just stick to this game and they upgraded it with a free update every year and a map expansion DLC. Also map-wise, there are some possibilities still available. We do Romania, Bulgaria, and then the Turkish area here around Istanbul. That is coming this year. That also means that they sort of skipped this part over here, which is former Yugoslavia, with Slovenia, Croatia, Serbia, Macedonia, and so on. So that is also something which can come one of the next years. They can of course go more southeast. They can also go more north, because we have the south of Norway and then Sweden and Finland, but yeah, they can also go up, make some sort of Nordic completion of these Scandinavian countries, and also maybe Iceland. There is a mod available, the Pro mod, which has way more countries, and yeah, step by step they are sort of copying that map from those mods. And then of course, yeah, also requested by many people, Spain and Portugal for a long time already. It is like it's sitting there from the beginning, huge area here, and that could be next year or the year after that. They could definitely go there. One of the next updates more than likely will have Corsica over here, which will be connected to the France DLC, because Corsica is a French island. But already in one of the streams or so, one of the devs said, yeah, let's travel to Corsica, he said. He more or less outspoke himself, maybe on purpose, like giving a little leak, because he wanted to go to Sardinia, but he actually outspoke himself and said, let's go to Corsica. Also, if you are here in the in this area here, you have a marina harbor here. You have EOLO lines. EOLO lines usually means a shipping. So more than likely, at one point or another, there will be a ferry connection coming either from here or from over here towards Corsica, and then also more than likely over here from Nice to Corsica will be another connection, I'm assuming. Or maybe even, let's have a look, is a possibility here. Yeah, over here we have a container terminal. Also here is a possibility to go from Livorno to the north of Corsica. And then connections to Ajaccio or something, more than likely. But does it be that will be like maybe in 1.36 or so, a small update, small patch, and then they add that to it. So that is like, yeah, quite a bunch of things that have been changed. Upgrades on the map, all kind of new features, eye tracking device, GPS voice, and everything that we more or less went over covers it all. Those of course are a lot of stuff that we have to discover here now and play around with, buying garages and buying new trailers and customizing them on the road, and that is all possible now. And then of course test all those things out, like just keep on driving and run out of fuel to test the emergency refueling, see if it works and that kind of stuff. But that will be, yeah, I will have a look on that on the RMD trucking series that I'm occasionally doing an episode of, which is of course not with this profile. This profile is level 71 legend at the moment, but the other RMD trucking is basically a new profile that I started up, and there we are still driving as a hire driver. Although we have gotten the mail from the bank to purchase a new truck. We already had the mail from the bank, but that was just for the 100,000. But now we can loan 500,000. We can actually buy our own truck and customize it a little bit. So that is one of the next episodes. Whenever I have time to record that, that is what we will do. But also that if you have new profiles, just the same as for all of the other long-term players or new players, it doesn't matter. This update is there for all. It came along a couple of days ago. That is more or less covers, although we haven't been driving, but yeah, it is what it is. A lot of menu changes, a lot of features that you can find in the menu here or in the options. Also in the vehicle browser, I think something changed. You now have a trailer browser as well. You had a trailer listing and a truck browser. Now you have a trailer browser where you can sort of see all of these whatever it is that you want to see, and you can even customize them here. It's sort of like a preview of what you want it to have. It's sort of similar as with the trucks. You can always, like, the beginning of the game, you're level 3, you don't have much available, you don't have much unlocked, but you can always go in the vehicle browser and click on your truck and then complete it with whatever it is, whatever truck that you want. If you want to have like the new MAN, and you want to have it like with the full-size cabin, and this is a 4x2 now, but how does it look with an 8x4? And then you can put all the gearboxes and the engines in, all the interior, all the colors. You can have a look on that. Speaking of that, there was also a new livery available for the Dev, I thought. Let's see what it is. Not sure if it's available in here though. Can't immediately see it. It's possible that you cannot see it in the preview, but that you actually nope, don't immediately see it. But there is some sort of new dev design available livery, which they, I believe, they have added to your accessories list, I guess. That sort of covers it, I think. Went quickly over all of these things. But yeah, it was quite a bit, because there's quite a bit that have changed with update 1.35. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.